sooner or later.
All right.
Hold on, let me just check.
You know what it is. Damn, I could have at least turned that on.
Thank you.
Keep it low.
Oh man, go ahead, introduce yourselves.
You want to go first?
No, you go.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Mac from TalkSmackWithMac.
Let's talk smack.
Thank you. For all my sports fans out there, if you are a fan of football, basketball, MMA, I'm your boy TalkSmackWithMac. Check it out. I talk all the good shit when it comes to those sports. Make sure to check me out on Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, and anywhere that podcasts are streamed, man. Check me out. TalkSmackWithMac. No spaces. Thank you.
This is your guy. And I am Randii. All right. Get them wind shine. That's my favorite. Yeah.
We gotta get the snaps.
The poetic snaps.
I got you. Don't even trip.
Okay. All right. And yeah, so the other day I did post a video about ghosting and the trauma behind it, right? So during this episode, I just wanted to bring everybody together today and kind of just elaborate a little bit more on what was already discussed, and of course get some feedback from some men because we all have different opinions, different perspectives, and just figure out a way to start communicating about these things and bringing it to the forefront. So yeah,
I like the idea of the different opinions too.
Okay.
Vari is a hater, so his opinion is going to differ for sure. And then you have your woman's perspective, and then I kind of feel like I'm the rational guy. We can find out.
Dang, but don't it take a hater to know a hater?
There you go. Like, damn.
Like he on the phone, he couldn't even defend himself.
Right? Like, you just gonna portray me as the hater.
Bro, you are.
We all got some hating tendencies, you know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah.
Varis are just a little bit more than others.
I guess, if you want to say that. But we'll see what's up with this one. It's ghosting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Ghosting. So I kind of want to just start this off with asking you guys some questions. Vari, so just explain to us one situation or a couple situations maybe where you have been ghosted, and then also on the other side of the coin when someone's ghosted you. It could be, recent, it could be from some years ago, but just something that impacted your life. Maybe you felt a little salty about a situation, or
ghosting? Yeah, probably back in the day. Like, there was probably a time where I hit somebody and they would. My thing with ghosting is, you hit me, we plan something, and then you ghost. That is the issue,
right?
You know what I mean? Because if we've come to an agreement of something, or I have set aside things for my day, now you're telling me, or you're not even telling me anything. So I hit you up constantly, and there's no feedback. There was a time where, even with not even with females or whatever, like in a male relationship, there would be, you would get ghosted by your friends, which is weird because it's like
a short-term ghost.
Yeah, it's like, motherfucker, I know you on your phone. Like,
right.
There's no
I know
reason.
what you're doing.
Right, I see these likes. I see what you're doing, man. Your name
You're active on Instagram
everybody
right now.
Right. So it's like, even dealing with same sex or whatever, that ghosting shit is it's just aggravating. It's annoying. It's more of anything. Like, just tell me that, if Shatii would ghost me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's more annoying than her just not saying, yo, I'm not coming today. You know what I mean? Just give me that respect. At the end of the day, I feel like ghosting is like a respect factor that is lost. Like, you don't respect me enough to let me know, at least to give me a heads up.
Right.
You think my day revolves around you?
Selfish.
We planned this, regardless of if you forgot or not. I didn't. So, just have that common courtesy with people. You know what I mean? Be able to talk to them. I don't want to say like no specific times or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't
like,
have to get into specifics.
Yeah, but there's just like shit like that has happened, and it's like it's a communication thing.
Mhm.
I don't know what the fuck is lost in translation, but it's like just talk to me.
Right.
Yeah, I think people think it's worse to say, "Hey, man, I know we planned this, but I can't do it anymore."
Yeah.
Versus hitting you up and say, "Hey, man, I can't do it." Then it's like, okay, I'm cool with that, whatever. But if you just ghost me and not say anything, and then that time comes when we had something planned, it's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like, imagine if you went on supposed to go on a dinner date or something like that. You're sitting at a restaurant by yourself. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is? That's never happened to me.
I eat by
thankfully,
myself,
but-
so you could just play it off like I'm gonna get this food.
Yeah.
Just
you sitting at a 2-seat table.
You're right, though. You're right. Yeah.
You better be at the bar.
Just you saying that, we were watching this show last night called something with the Bernards. I don't know. It's a Netflix show about a funeral home.
Man, y'all be going through the show, bro. Good God.
But the grandmother who runs the funeral home, her grandkids wanted to set her up on a date because they started looking at old pictures and stuff. They was like, dang, grandma, you was, you look pretty and all this other stuff. So they started setting her up. They put her on eHarmony. She got a date or whatever, and she went out somewhere, and she was waiting. Nobody showed up.
Oh,
And then she came through, but grandma's so resilient, she ain't give a fuck.
Right.
She came back the next day with the same clothes on, like, you know what I mean? Like, grandma, where you got what? Did you go home with And so they was talking about that, and then she was like, look, I know they out there talking about me and probably saying some nasty, filthy stuff, but I ain't do nothing. I got stood up. That man wasn't there. I don't care. I ate my food, had a good time, and went home.
Okay.
Especially with your phone now too, you can keep yourself occupied and eat that whatever food you got.
Put your what them things called? The AirPods. Put your AirPods in and just fucking turn Netflix on.
See,
dinner and a movie.
Depending on who you are as a person.
You say you go out
like
to eat by yourself?
Yeah.
And you just sit there?
Yeah.
I've never.
I enjoy look, because the thing is, I go places where the ambiance is set. All right, I go places where I got shit to look at.
Do you get dressed?
It depends. I mean, honestly, sometimes I'm just bumming it. Just put something comfortable on.
That's me about 99% of the time.
I might want to get fly one time, but a lot of times I'm just comfortable and I just enjoy food. So really, just the experience of just eating something it's enough for me. Like I don't really need much other entertainment. And yeah, I might be on my phone a little bit, but sometimes I just like the peace, the quiet, observing people. I really like people watching. I really like people watching. It's very entertaining. So
what do you do? When you're people watching, what are you looking out for?
I don't know. Like classes like sociology and stuff like that are very interesting because it's cool to watch people and to see like why people do what they do, and sometimes you kind of like will animate people too, like, oh, this person is I don't know, I'll narrate a scene sometimes. I don't know what's going on, but just by the energy and the vibes, I just start sitting there like, oh, she probably mad because he said this, or like, oh, like this girl saying that, oh, that waitress is probably pissed off because they said something, it's just fun to me.
We be doing that too.
See we be people, doing that too. Just like reacting and just being human. You're just like, man, humans is weird. we be wild.
Do you find yourself sometimes where you're like, I kind of agree with him or her, or you've been in that position before.
Right. But I wanted to touch on the being uncomfortable, right? Like we talk about, like some people would much rather just not say anything than just to be open to communicate like, hey, this is what's going on. I know we did have plans. However, something came up. I'm just not feeling it, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to be an elaborate, explanation, but there does need to be communication. And I think where a lot of that stems from for us is, I feel like a lot of us when we were younger, and it's just kind of been one of those things that's been passed down, is this notion that like kids don't have a say in anything, right? When you're trying to express how you feel, when you're trying to express anything about like your being and what your reality is as a kid, sometimes the adults look like push that off like it's nothing, act like it doesn't matter. And so I think you kind of end up developing this notion that like anything I say is really not gonna matter. You know, I don't want this person to be upset with me. I don't want this person to judge me because I was judged in the past. I was, you know, yelled at in the past for even trying to explain like, hey, like I'm just, you know, like I don't want to go to sleep. Yeah. And they over here like, you better get your ass in bed. Like just little stuff like that. But if it's something that's consistent in your life as a kid, you grow up and you're like, okay, not consciously, but unconsciously you're thinking, if I express myself, I get in trouble. I get judged. I'm not accepted. So I would rather just not say anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna just shut up.
And I feel like, are those same traumas we were talking about last time?
With the
like when we were like say with our parents and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't taught to per se communicate. It was always shut up, or you know what I'm saying? Are we taking these things that we learned when we were kids and now applying them to our relationships yet again?
Yes.
You know what I mean? In the aspect of ghosting.
Yep. We definitely are. And it's something that, you know, it wasn't our fault. When we're young, we're sponges. You know, I've already talked about this. You absorb everything in your surroundings. You looking at the adults and seeing how they're acting, how they communicate with one another. You know, you're just absorbing everything. You're downloading. It's like when you're a kid, like that's the stage of like a computer. You're just downloading all this content. And then you get to a certain point and then you start acting from all those downloads. And I feel like around like your late 20s is when you can really start, you know, reflecting on how you behave and how that affects you, and you know, just like what's going on, and just really observing yourself. But it stems from when we were kids. Yes, we don't have to sit there and get mad at ourselves for just doing what we were taught. However, there comes a point where you have to take responsibility. You have to recognize, you know what, this is what happened to me. It sucks. Change. I wasn't aware, but let me perpetuate something new for not only myself, but the people around me.
Yes.
You know,
I'm 100% in agreement with you. I'm very big on that. And I preach it to Vari all the time, how I try to reflect that with my daughter, how I speak to her, how I react to certain things. I don't want to get mad at her because she asks a question, or like Randii was saying, go to bed. And then I don't want to go to bed. Don't yell at them. Explain to her why. Hey, you need to go to bed because you need to get your sleep so you could grow, get big and strong. You don't get cranky. You know, you need sleep. And when you sit down and you explain to people, whether it's a child or, you know, people in your day-to-day life now that are adults, communication is key.
Communication.
You know, like you guys are saying, back to the ghosting thing. I'd rather you tell me, hey, I can't make it, than ghost me and not tell me at all.
Right.
Communication is key, and I preach that shit on the regular.
Right.
Because the communication in my family or my past relationships or how I grew up was absolutely terrible. So now, like you said, in your mid to late 20s, you start understanding that, and you start asking yourself, well, this is what happened to me. Either I can stay like that, or I can make a change, make a difference, and start my own journey.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the tip that I'm on now is, yeah, man, maybe communication was lacking in the past, but shit, it doesn't have to stay that way.
And I feel where some kids, right, they're afraid to speak up, you know, and express themselves, where they've taken that and like that's what they run with now, and they're the ghosters. Then you also have the people on the other side who, like, they're reactive, say just like their parents were. So if anybody expresses to them like, hey, you know what, I tell one of my friends like, hey, I'm kind of in a mood. I'm a little drained. Work had me, you know, messed up. I think I'm just going to stay in tonight. Like, I know we have plans, but to be honest, girl, like, it's just best for me to stay home. And then she hits me with the, oh my gosh, you know, we were supposed to do this. Like, why would you say that? Like, now what am I going to, you know, getting like upset with me for expressing and just being honest about what's going on. Right. So it's, you know,
she got to turn it down a little bit.
You know, like, and I've had some of those kinds of friendships where it's like, don't make me feel guilty for just...
Because I'm tired, because I bust my ass every day, and I don't really feel like getting up and doing some shit right now. I need to recover mentally, emotionally, physically, so I could be the best version of myself the next day.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to make sacrifices, and you can't always do everything that everybody wants to do.
Right.
And that's just fucking life. And if your friend or your person that you're associating with at that time doesn't understand that, that's on them. Because we're not going to deter our health and do shit and put ourselves, you know, in jeopardy to get sick or just have a bad night or frustration or anything. You know, we know ourselves better than anybody. So being able to express that to somebody and say, hey man, tonight is just not the night.
It is what it is.
You gotta do that, man, or else you're gonna find yourself just being exhausted and down and getting sick all the time and shit like that. You gotta make time for your personal health and recovery.
Yeah. I feel like so getting back to the ghosting, right? What part of that actually do we find the most, what aspect of ghosting do we find the most frustrating when it is with somebody that you are just interacting with or somebody that you've been interacting with for a long time?
Definitely the relationships that you've had, you know, whether it's your friend or just a relationship, whatever the case is. Like if, you know, we're cool, if we've established a friendship, if, you know, we've spent a lot of time together, if we've, you know, whatever the case may be, bro, like do me the honors and communicate. Now, if it's somebody that I'm first learning, I don't know their traumas. I don't know who they really are. I don't know if they're introverted or extroverted yet. Like you're still in the process of learning them. So, you know, it's hard to kind of make judgments off of like somebody new. You know, it's just like, well, shoot, I don't know what happened with them. They might not feel comfortable with me yet to really speak on maybe what's going on, whatever. But if I know you, bro, like, and I'm somebody who I have a lot of patience, and as long as you just talk to me and are honest with me, I'm going to show you compassion. Like, I'm not going to sit here and like dog you.
Yeah.
So it's just like, granted, I know the environment that you're surrounded in may not accept that for you, but bro, like if you pay attention to me and who I am as a person, you would understand, like, you know what, I could say this and she wouldn't trip. If you really think about it logically, you know, like, so.
Anytime that we texting and then you like, all right, I'm coming. And then you don't come. And then it's like, you give me that that heads up still that, yo, at least I'm not coming. I'll try to make this time or whatever. It's not just yo, it's pod day, everybody be here, whatever, and then you don't hear from Randii. You know what I mean? It's like, at least you give me that, you got that common courtesy to be like, all right, let me go ahead and not. Because that's how you keep relationships going. Because most motherfuckers will see that and they won't show up, or if they can't make it or whatever, or they don't text back. But then the other person is feeling like real bitter about it. You're upset now. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that goes into trust too.
Yeah.
If you say you're supposed to be here, hey man, it's pod day. You know, it's this day at this time. You're not here. You didn't hit me up. Now you're flaky. Now you're fucking with my time. You know, now if we have a pod next week, I cannot include you in any plans because I don't know if you're going to show up.
Yep.
But if you would have called me and said, hey, man, I just can't make it today, that's different. Now we can say, all right, bet, man, next time, let's do this, yada, yada, yada. Are you going to be able to make it?
That's all it takes.
And that all goes back to communication, man. Communication.
Just like you get on your phone real quick and you go make a post on, you know, go comment on somebody's pic, bro. You could hit me up and let me know
in that same amount of time.
Yes.
And even if you don't want to talk about it in that moment, you could just be like, hey, not gonna make it, fill you in later.
Yep.
You don't even gotta boom.
It doesn't have to be a whole thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a whole thing. You just make it something real quick, simple, to the point.
Because so I had wrote down a couple things as far as like what may or may not justify ghosting.
Okay.
One of those things is, say, like in a relationship, if, you know, man or woman, if you have sat there and tried to communicate and you do your best to be patient, you let this person talk, you try to express to them how you're feeling and, you know, what's going on with you guys. And if you're just finding you've exhausted all efforts and they don't want to hear you, They don't want to take the time to sit down and like listen to what you're saying, or they want to be argumentative and they just want to like, combat you all the time. It's just like, dude, okay, now I'm wasting my energy because you're not even trying to, sit here and have a conversation. You're just trying to argue.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to communicate. So I think when the person's not receptive to you after try, you know what? Nah, you getting cut.
That's a fact.
And that doesn't matter if it's family, if it's friends,
goes
everybody.
For everybody. Also, if the person is like crazy, a stalker, or abusive, okay, sometimes you gotta just do what you gotta do. All right, don't put yourself in a stupid situation just because you're trying to communicate with somebody who's psychotic. Right. All right, and ain't nobody saying that.
Now you need to check yourself, because why are you trying to communicate with that crazy motherfucker anyway?
Right. Hey, parents could have been psychotic and they said,
you're like, I like it. Hey, you gotta beat my ass at least once a month to keep me, baby.
Also, if you're just kind of going through particularly, so let's just say last year with the pandemic, a lot of people were going through some tough things, some more than others. And so during that time, it's just like, honestly, dude, like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know where I'm going. Like, this stuff is too stressful right now. I'm struggling to just survive, let alone communicate with, people. And if you maybe had like a conversation and you've been, triggered by something that somebody said, maybe it triggered some kind of, trauma from your past and stuff like that. And it just reminds you of it. And it's hard for you to separate that situation and what you've been through and your wounds. However, I think when you are in a space, at some point, you do still have to communicate. Like if you are, say, going through something, or if you are triggered, maybe not in that moment, but at some point, communicate like, hey, I apologize. I know I kind of been ghost for like the last month, but I was really going through stuff. I was stressed. I was just trying to figure out my life, and I didn't have the time or energy to really talk to anybody. I kind of had to be in my own bubble, just to keep me going. It's it's simple things. But
I think if anybody that I had a prior relationship with hit me up and said that to me, I'm like, all right, bet. Hope you're good.
Right. Because then okay, I just need to kind of extend them a little bit more grace, right? Like they're going through some stuff. I can't take it personal.
Yeah, for real. Everybody has a life to live.
Just leave it, and then if they decide to come back, they come back.
Exactly.
Because I can't make somebody, and then at the end of the day, if they are going through things, then what is the point of trying to while they're trying to figure it out, trying to be like, what's going on? Why are you not, speaking to me? Can you talk to me? Talk to me. Like, no, let them figure their shit out.
For real. Now you're like impeding on their
peace,
growth, and recovery, whatever they're going through. You're just like adding to the fire.
Yeah.
Some people just need, like you said, peace, time to themselves, time to enjoy themselves, time to self-heal.
Yep.
All of that shit is important. And when you have to constantly have somebody around you to make you feel good, that's such a bad thing. You need to be able to enjoy yourself and your personal time. I fucking love being by myself, but I also feel like that's one of my problems in life is that I love being by myself so much that I don't know how I'm going to react when that time comes for a potential next relationship. How am I going to react with this person in my life on the regular,
right?
Because I like being alone. I read a quote, something along the lines of being alone is the most deadly drug in the world. Because once you feel how peaceful it is, you're going to be scared to ever want to leave or change it.
Right.
But it's like a catch-22 a little bit. You got to balance having your alone time, enjoying it, but also being acceptive of other people trying to come into your life as well.
No, that's a key, the balance. Because your time in solitude will teach you like about yourself. This is your time to learn about who really am I? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my tendencies? Who am I as a person?
Your morals, your values, who you want to be viewed as.
Like, how do I react to certain things? You know, am I kind to people? Am I compassionate? Am I irritable? Am I angry?
Understanding.
You know, because then when you learn these things about yourself, then it opens your eyes to those characteristics in other people, right? And then you learn how to, okay, well, when I'm frustrated, now I know if I'm frustrated, I just need to maybe say, you know, maybe I'm just hangry. I need to go get some food. Or maybe I need to, you know, just vibe out to some music. Or maybe I need to go for a walk. Or maybe I need to work out. Like, you start to figure out the antidote to, like, okay, what's going to heal me in this time right now? And then you are just able to, you know, extend that to others too. Like, all right, they're in a space right now. You know, maybe you just get to understand people better when you understand yourself.
Yes.
And, you know, like you're saying, like, having that time in solitude is great, but then you also have to put yourself out there too, because I mean, we're beings who thrive in, you know, community and whatnot. And just in this life, you know, we need each other for a lot of things, to build, to grow, and everything like that, whether it's at work, your family. So you get to put those things that you learned in solitude in practice when you get around other people. Like, okay, like, is this something that I'm actually growing in? Like, have I, you know, sharpened this skill? You know, am I truly exuding, you know, patience and love for these people? Or am I kind of reverting back to my old ways now that I'm around people? And, you know, it's a great practice.
Yeah, and it's very key on the people that are around you. Because if you have a bunch of negative or toxic people around you, then your love or patience of being around other people may kind of fault or defer a little bit. But if you have amazing people that you're surrounded by, you're gonna be like, shit, I want to see who else I can meet. Who else can I add to this circle? Because when I'm around people, we're all on the same level. We're all trying to thrive. We're all happy. We're all peaceful. You know, we're positive people, filling each other's minds up with just knowledge that can help us grow, business wise, just as people in general, everything. So, so having that circle of the right people is key too.
Yes. And in that alone time, you figure out, you know, who do I want to be around all the time? What kinds of people and what kind of characteristics will enable me to be the best version of myself?
Yes.
That's when you learn it. And then you can better navigate the world, because you're just like, okay, like, maybe I used to hang out with, you know, people who like to go out all the time. But to be honest, I was only going out because I wanted to feel accepted and included. And, you know, that's a draining scene for me. So actually, maybe I don't need to surround myself with those kinds of people. Nothing wrong with them. Do you? You know, that's just your preference.
That's just not my thing.
Yeah, but I'm introverted. Like, you know, I like, you know, dates at like the coffee shop and stuff. I like to go get food or travel, read a book, you know, pick each other's brain, you know, talk about stuff. So it's just, you know, different strokes for different folks. And it's just all about a willingness to learn and a willingness to
experience
before you judge.
The different types of people and what they're about and what they like to do. And I was going to ask you, do you have friends that go out and stuff like that? Do you have friends for specific times and places?
Yeah, like, I got a few friends, like, we always go to lunch. Like, that's our thing. You know, and we just kind of catch up, and, you know, we just start, you know, getting into deep conversation just about like people and what we've observed, and then even our own growth and stuff. Then I have people where we create, you know, like, whether it's
like art or poetry and stuff like that.
So any of my creative endeavors, I have people that, you know, we're cool because we're in that space and we support one another in our creative endeavors. Then I have other people who say, you know, are on their business stuff. And I'm picking their brains, and we're learning from each other, and we're supporting each other in that realm. I got my friends who are introverts. We might just have freaking wine and chill nights, you know, home, like just chilling. And then sometimes I want to dabble in the finer things. I might go out and, you know, just be like, hey, like, I'm out here, you know, we in these streets tonight. So, you know, and I got my travel buddies, the people I could just be like, hey, yo, so you trying to do this spontaneous trip real quick? You know, so, but I have those resources because I've learned that about myself, and I've understood like the tools and the different things that I need to do to obtain it, to fulfill my life.
And you're able to balance it.
Exactly.
You don't try to bring this group of friends in to do this type of activity because you know it's not their thing.
Exactly.
And when you could balance all of those, life gets pretty interesting and fun.
Because I think sometimes what we'll do is we will, we try to make one person, one friend, one, boyfriend or girlfriend, we try to make them fulfill all of our needs.
Yes.
And it's like, you can't do that. Sometimes these is just the hanging out friends. Sometimes these is just the people you just clown with. Other times these are the people you serious with. And
it's okay that some of your friends don't do certain things.
Yep.
And it's almost like selfish on your part if you try to force them to.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Where you been, man? Well, yeah, what you got to say? Quiet man, usually the man with all the opinions, and he's just over here.
He's observing.
I was just.
He's soaking in the knowledge.
Yeah, because y'all was going in. Plus, I had to go get the door. Shatie's here. How you doing, Shatii?
Shatii, what up, girl?
To Shatii.
I don't have a mic. That's why I'm yelling.
Man, I
do got a question.
Okay,
just
girl.
the mic with the struggle
Spit it.
Well, we talking about ghosting right now, so.
Are we? I thought we were talking about friendships.
We're talking about a little bit of,
Got you.
It branches out a bit, and then we circle it all back.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Felt what you said, though.
You felt it. You felt it with your chest.
Here, go ahead, take this. Say what you got to say, girl.
Yeah, we can make it do
So
what
my
it do.
question, I agree with you, like about having friends for certain, just things. So I guess my question is, as someone who doesn't consider themselves easy at making friends, at least friends to be like let's hang out type friends. I can meet people, be acquaintances, but it's hard to let's hang out. How do you go about finding those friends for those certain things? Because I feel like I would love travel friends and then workout friends, and then
you bring
put
them all
yourself
into
in the environment.
You bring them all into the same circle, and then you pick and choose from.
I don't know about that.
You put them together.
That's how you do that. You put them in one pot, and then you figure out what you like from that pot.
How do you
and
go
then you
about
move that
this
way?
pot?
I do it. I work out with Levi.
What is the pot you put them all in? The podcast?
No, not the podcast.
We
be barbecuing. We be chilling.
No, all
the baby showers
in one pot. Oh, okay.
I put all of y'all together at one time, and then I pick and choose from there.
Okay.
And then I'm like,
talking about
all right.
specific.
I got people I travel
Which
with.
one is it?
He pulls out his notebook
go,
all
go.
right,
No, you are
travel
Yo.
for.
There we go.
Don't travel.
Exactly.
So-and-so.
No,
Levi
that's
doesn't want to leave in the house. I'm not inviting him.
That's exactly what I do. So if you have never traveled with me or haven't, then that's the reason why. I've put you in a pot, and I've realized that I cannot go anywhere with you.
Speaking of
Yeah,
traveling,
it'd be like
man,
that.
we need to do that again. That hike was fun. The
Yeah.
drive was
I'm
fun
down
too.
there.
See, you could go on that one, but you
didn't want to go.
I
isolating
don't
us.
want to. They hiked 9 miles.
You
Let me
ice-
tell all of y'all.
You isolate us.
They
You don't want to go to.
hiked
You don't want us to go to
Because
Big
she
Bear
put
with
us in
you.
a pot, bro. She
Okay,
knows what
it
she.
wasn't that I don't want y'all to go to Big Bear. I'm not
she
getting
knows what she
into
wants
this.
from us.
She doesn't
I
want to
feel
go
like just like
snowboarding
she said,
or
separate
skiing with us.
friend groups.
Why can't we be the ski friends or the snow? We want to
because that
snowboard.
friend was, that group was already for a separate group of friends.
You can't have another group of skiing friends.
You're missing they're changing up the whole thing.
I'm
That
just
was for
asking
a
a fucking
separate
question.
group.
I'm just asking.
That ski trip was for my boyfriend and his friends.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine. But
I don't want to
it
chill with
was his
Shatii and her
birthday.
I
boyfriend.
don't want to chill with Shatii and her boyfriend
On his
either, but
birthday,
Yeah.
how am I invite
I'm
other people
asking-
he don't know to his
I'm
birthday?
asking a question.
You just said you isolate us. You would invite us to Big Bear.
Will
Different
we?
You know
groups.
what it is.
Okay, so what is this group? This is just podcast group for you?
You guys are friends, podcast friends. Not only we only hang on podcasts, but you guys are my podcast friends.
Okay.
I mean, you're my cousin, so, but
Yeah.
but
We
I'm
go-
not saying
we
we
gonna
only
be workout friends
podcast
soon?
together.
See?
We can.
I've been waiting for you.
I have to get. I ain't gonna lie. I have a membership since December.
But
I
you
think
got
it
it now.
expired.
I got a gym
No,
at
I
my
haven't
house.
gone and got it. I said I was going to, but
You
I
did.
did. I don't like home gyms. I need a gym.
Yeah, because home gyms, that gets me to the point where I'm like, all right, cool. I got a little sweat. I'm done.
Yeah, same. Or a home gym, I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling that.
Hey, Vari, has there ever been one time that you had ever said you worked out with me and said I got a little sweat, I'm done?
No.
I don't play that shit.
But still, at a home gym, I'd just be like,
No.
I'm gonna sit down.
That's
on
because
the
that's a
couch
real.
in there.
That's because when you with somebody, that's motivation, and that's like, I'm not gonna slack, especially next to somebody else who ain't slacking. You know what I mean?
Hey, on some real shit, I like
I
working out
will.
with you because you're a lot bigger than me. So when I go to the gym, I'm like, he ain't about to lift more than me.
Okay, look. Back to her
This guy is
question.
hilarious.
Back to her
Man.
question. So how do you find those people? You have to put yourself in that environment. You have to put yourself in a position to meet those people. So if you want people who travel, go travel.
Yes.
Go on a road trip. Go,
Yes.
By yourself?
No, with them.
No, how do you meet
Well,
them
I didn't
initially,
I
though?
found a travel group on
It
Meetup.
can be
but
either
other
or.
stuff,
What?
I travel by myself and I
Boy,
can find those people.
y'all meet
And then you just meet people on the road?
they were all black women.
Wait. Oh,
Now
wait,
that
no, you
that
went
was
to-
the time I put myself out there. I found a
Yeah.
travel group on Meetup. We went to Thailand. But as far as like other stuff, like like going out friends, like I feel like I have one, maybe two
Probably
going out
two.
friends. Are you counting
I'm talking
yourself?
about, no, not me.
You counting? You talking about my
I'm
friends?
talking about. I'm thinking
You
about.
thinking
the
out of
one-
my friends?
Yeah, out of your friends.
You
that
think I have two?
You have possibly like two that right now
Maybe
that would
two.
go out
I have one that I know will go out. I think.
for. I'm pretty sure for facts because she's already out right now.
Who? Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I don't know who you're
Look
talking
at their
about.
Instagram too. Okay, even people that you already know.
But then it's
what
like,
are they posting about?
How
all the
do I
time?
be like, hey, girl, I just met. I see you like to go out. I like to go out.
Okay, so
Let's go out.
But the
Like,
thing
We're
is,
about to learn this
if
together.
you just okay, so you just meeting somebody, right?
mm,
Okay, well, like I know. Let me put myself in the situation.
You want some
So if I'm
headphones?
like at the bar or whatever, and I'm at a bar, so
Yeah.
obviously I'm a be probably meeting people who like to go out and mingle.
yeah.
So you sit there, you start, chopping it up. You talk about, maybe your likes, your dislikes, whatever, and then you inquire and you're honest about like what it is that you may or may not want from that relationship. So you might just be like, you know what, like it was real dope talking to you, like maybe like let's like link up later or whatever, or like, hey, you said you liked this. Like it's just listening to people, hearing what they like, hearing what it is that makes them tick in life, and then if it's something that resonates with you, shoot your shot and just be like, hey, so you do poetry too? Hey, let's link up sometime. Let's work on something. It's just not being afraid of that like rejection.
Rejection.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no weird ass girl. I have my own friends I go out with.
Look, because if they say no, like you can't sit with us, okay?
Right? Like,
I'm gonna be the guy at the gym. I'm like, hey, bro, man, we going hiking in Utah in a couple weeks.
like
Come
like,
with me.
Utah.
You can ride with us.
Maybe start small. Like,
Maybe.
let's hike it.
You want to go to Lake Mead or something? You want to go to Mount Charleston?
Maybe.
You start small like that.
Do you
is
feel
what
like
you're saying?
I don't
it's
know.
harder for us to put ourselves out there now?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Versus when, though.
Like versus I feel like before technology and shit like that.
Because social media paints
before
a
we had
image.
to go and meet these
Yeah,
people
yeah,
in social
yeah.
settings and you know what I'm saying?
And I
you
can
put
follow
yourself
someone
out
on
more.
Instagram and then never talk to them again because you got them on
Right.
Instagram.
There
You like
you
their
go.
picture and you're just like,
You know them in your mind
Yeah.
from their little highlight reel, but you don't know nothing else. So that's also a very good point that you bring up. Sometimes it's hard for us to step out of our comfort zone because we are so used to connecting with people through social media, which it's a beautiful tool to do it. However, it shouldn't take the place of actually exploring the world.
yeah.
It shouldn't take that place of, wanting to meet new people or learn a different skill. And, yes, use your technology. It's a tool, but
Okay.
don't.
So I was doing a pod yesterday with some people and I had met some cool people. And I'm like, damn, I go on Instagram immediately and see who these people are. Everybody seems legit. Everybody has a lot of followers. And I'm like, okay, this is nice. Do I now travel to meet these people in person? Or
I mean, how long have
like,
you?
no.
have you?
Like I'm saying, like
Where
over
are
time,
Yeah.
we talk or whatever.
Definitely,
But
if you like them enough.
this is between mutual friends that we meet.
Yeah. I mean, I would. It's just a matter of if you're wanting to do that for yourself, right? You have to understand, like, okay, let me actually like learn who this person is first
Yeah.
before I just make this trip. But if you've had conversations and you've kind of felt out like the person's energy or whatever, granted, sometimes it's hard to tell through just text. So hey, maybe do like a little FaceTime call and just figure out like what kind of
Now
person
that
are
I
you?
don't know.
That's weird. It's
That's
weird. It's weird. However, get to know the person. If you feel in a cool vibe, if you feel like you can talk to them, if you resonate with
Do
them,
we meet
why
with
not?
those people that we did the podcast with the other day?
Do we meet?
Do we meet those people?
Should we meet?
Like, I'm asking, like, do we meet?
Would it
those
be
people?
weird if we met them?
Yeah.
I would definitely meet them in person. So maybe it's not weird. We did a podcast with random people.
I used to be random,
maybe.
low-key.
I don't know. I
You
mean,
have
I
never
guess
been
everyone
random.
who comes in here at some point is a no. We know. Do we know?
We
We don't
know
know everybody.
Damn near one person at least in the room knows somebody that comes in here. So Kiana knows Randii. So Randii came in. Randii, you know.
You tell me we never had a person we just didn't really know it. Nobody knew this person before in here.
So then that's how it starts.
No.
You meet people through your friends, through your existing
Man, I almost didn't
relationships.
know anyone that's been on here.
I don't
So
think I even knew it. Well, actually,
I'm
most
stepping
of
out of
the
my
people we
comfort
went to high
zone.
school with.
You see?
You didn't know PS the Shooter.
He knew you.
I did know PS the Shooter, but you didn't, and I didn't even know he was coming.
So I'm just saying, like,
I'll put it like
somebody is
this,
known
man.
through somebody in here.
I met this dude,
Every time.
random dude, Liam, runs an MMA page on Instagram, lives in Scotland. Dope ass dude.
Scotland, you gonna take that trip?
I'm about to
I
go to
would be
Scotland
down to take
on
I'll
that.
some
go to
real shit.
Scotland.
Hey, dude is super cool. I'm about to go out there.
And you a ginger and bald already, man? You Conor McGregor, man?
Just for
I
the
mean,
last-
They about to fuck with me over there.
Yeah, bro.
Can you? I don't know.
All right, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back in. I just wanted to say a couple other things and let y'all, say what you want to say as well. But I think at the end of the day, as far as the whole ghosting goes, right? No matter which side of the spectrum you're on, whether you're someone who's quiet and you kind of get stepped on and you need to learn how to speak up and say how you feel and not be afraid of rejection, or you're that person who you loud, you talkative, and maybe you need to sit down and listen to somebody. The key is you need to learn how to communicate, and a form of communication is listening. And it is, speaking. It's both of those things. So you are practicing communication by listening to somebody and hearing them out. But practice is key. We're not going to be perfect. Maybe the person who is just now stepping up and wanting to, express themselves, maybe they just botch everything that they're trying to say to you. And it's the other person's responsibility to be like, bro, honestly, I don't know if this is what you really meant. Can you clarify that for me? Because that was a little confusing. This is what I got from it. And then give them that space to open up and, because they're not used to it.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, if somebody is very aggressive, you as that other person has to kind of just be like, all right, I know that they kind of get like this. Let me just give them the space to kind of blow off their steam. And then maybe once their tone gets dialed down a little bit, then maybe we can have a conversation. But it's just learning each other, bouncing off each other, learning about yourself. I did have these two quotes that I just wanted to read off that I saw that I thought were fly. One of them is by this lady. Her name's Jillian Turecki. Really love a lot of her work. She's on Instagram. And it says, some of us never learned that someone could be angry with us and still love us. That someone could want space and also be totally committed. Some of us learned that anger and space meant that love was going to be taken away. And then I think this is where the communication comes in. Hey, I might be angry at this that you did, or you didn't speak up to me, or you ghosted me or whatever, but I still got love for you. I'm just expressing to you, this is what's going on. I'm not okay with it. And can we figure out a better way to honor one another? And then this last one, my goal isn't to argue, it's to make you aware.
I like that.
It's a matter of, bro, we just trying to talk.
I like both of them. Both of them are very, the former really breaks it down a little bit. Because like you said, yeah, some people, if you have space, you hate me.
Right.
We're breaking up.
Right.
I know I used to think
It's
that.
over.
Like, you don't want to be around me?
Yeah, let me walk away, give
Forever?
me space a little bit. I need to cool down. I need to gather my thoughts and find my peace so I could come back clear-headed and have this conversation with you. That took
And that comes with
that took me a
maturity.
long time.
Same. Because I used to think space, you want space or you want to go cheat?
No, we need to handle this shit right now.
You want space right now?
Right.
You're gonna go cheat. That's what
That's
space
the
is.
projections, but
But really, it's so normal to want
right.
space. I feel like
Right.
everybody does when they're mad.
Because sometimes I think, especially with sometimes men, they don't want to hurt us or hurt our feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we try to force them to speak in that moment, they might blow up. And it's look, I'm trying to honor you by telling you, let's talk about this later. But if you want to keep at it,
my anger may overcloud my judgment, and I may say some things that I don't mean.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's now you're just walking in circles. It's like, why are you trying to force the conversation now?
Right.
Let's just
And
walk
then-
away, come back, and then we could really say what we mean.
Right.
And then that's when, if you don't give the space, because some people need it, like you said, that's when it becomes what the next quote is. And instead of trying to prove or trying to get a point, or what did the quote say? The second one? The way you
All the way in
that
the
book.
back.
Yeah, this book is thick.
I think it's all the way in the back.
Hold on.
I'm going.
It's still sure.
She got a lot of knowledge in this book, folks.
It's coming, guys.
Man,
I
look,
lost the damn page.
you get it. You get it. You get it.
How do you know where it's at?
Because
He opened it for me.
Oh, okay.
Do you just write on random pages when you open it?
He what he gave me is what I worked with. All right. All right.
There we go.
All right. So the second one,
Yeah.
my goal isn't to argue, it's to make you aware.
Yes.
So it could turn into an argument.
Yes, like what you said, when like people are just saying things they don't mean because they're mad you didn't give them time. That's when it becomes not just making you aware. Like you're literally you just call somebody a broke bum bitch. Like,
Dang. I like that alliteration right there. Broke
Who are you calling a broke?
I don't know. I just thought it was the most disrespectful thing that someone could say.
Bitch.
Like you call me a bum, and a bitch.
Fucking bad.
I'm gonna drop that on somebody if I ever get another argument.
You broke bum bitch.
But y'all got
Yeah.
any other
Yes.
final thoughts just on like, ghosting? Maybe you got, experience that you want to share.
Quotes just made me think. Did anyone watch Malcolm and Marie?
I just saw some snippets. I didn't watch it. Though.
I haven't watched it.
That's when that last quote made me think of like the argument versus making you aware.
Mhm.
It's literally a movie. Marie spends the entire movie trying to make Malcolm aware of one thing, like literally. Well, it's more than one thing, but it all boils down to one thing. But yeah, it just made me think of that. We could have talked about it maybe if you guys saw it, but maybe next time.
From what I did see, it was clear. She's just like, look, I'm not trying to make you mad. I'm not trying to be your enemy.
And
okay.
there were times
But
that they were
there's times
definitely
where it's-
enemies.
But it's a two-sided thing, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So they both have points,
In the end, there's only one winner, honestly. When you watch the movie,
I'm
not talking about every argument, but I'm talking about when you watch this movie, in the end, there's only one winner. So, I mean, did the guy
Get this
have
man a
points?
protective
Maybe.
case. I'm
Right,
sorry to
because
cut
that's
you off.
expensive.
On everything.
He drops everything, bro. He really
It's all right.
does.
I can't talk. I drop everything too. Y'all
We
see
know.
me? Yes,
Mhm.
I'll tear this whole thing down. Just trying to walk past. But
We try to keep Shatii over there in the corners just so
No,
you don't
seriously.
break everything.
No, I didn't have many points on the ghosting. I feel like I kind of missed that whole thing, so I'll just
Have you ever been
let
ghosted
it ride.
or done ghosted somebody?
She's ghosted people for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been
She's
ghosted.
a woman.
Who doesn't
Whoa.
ghost? I mean, I missed the whole thing, so I don't know. But I mean, of course I've ghosted people, and of course I've been ghosted. I honestly
Do you feel bad when you ghost people?
no.
Like when they constantly are hitting you up and you're just like,
I get annoyed. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad when people ghost me. I'll be like, all right, clearly they don't want to talk to me anymore,
Mhm.
and I'll leave it at that. I don't, unless I'm just like we were in love, we were in a relationship for like however long, and I'm just like, I just don't understand why he changed his number and never like it's never been like that. It's always been to a point where I guess he didn't fuck with me, like.
yeah.
And I
Do
always,
you ever, like, if you've ghosted somebody though, and they do hit you up, do you ever put your foot down and finally just let them know, like, hey, look, like
only if they ask why. Like usually people be like, hey, what's up? Or where you been? Or how you doing? And I'll still ghost you. But if someone's like, you ghosted me and I'd like to know why, then that's when I'm just like, all right, this is clearly like bothering this person. Like, let me just. But usually I mean, most people don't ask why most times.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I want to ask why if somebody didn't respond to me.
I just be like,
I've
fuck
had
it.
some-
well, they don't necessarily even have to ask why, like, because I had this person like constantly hitting me up on Instagram, okay, constantly, all the time, and I wouldn't respond. Like, they said a couple things to me, but it didn't resonate with me, and I didn't want to, influence it. Like, hey, like, this is what I like, or this is what I'm okay with. So I didn't respond, and it's been some years since the messages have gone on.
Oh, they're
so
still going?
So I finally was just like, look, I understand that you know, you're attracted to me or you want to take me out, whatever the
eat
case
that
may
butt.
be. I was like, however, just tap the screen. However, you constantly hitting me up after I've already told you I'm in a space to focus on my work and getting projects done, I'm like, that's not attractive. And so I said, you know, and it's actually making that like, this is the reason why I'm ignoring you is because I've already laid a foundation and told you this is my boundary, and now you're disrespecting my boundary.
Maybe if he would have came with the energy of, yo, okay, well, you working on that? Well, you know, I can help you with the boom.
Nah.
I
even
think
that?
the energy would have
It already was fun.
Because if you already come into me like on some, hey, I'm trying to holler, bro,
And
you
you
can't
don't
flip that.
respond.
You can't
Right.
flip it. Because then it's just like, now I feel like you're trying to befriend me so you can holler. It's not, it doesn't feel genuine.
I feel
So
like the only way
what
he
about the
would've
opposite then?
What?
So what if he came in with the energy of, yo, I'm working on X,
Initially,
I see you
That's
working
what
on
she said.
X,
She
Y,
was
Z.
in a space. She
Okay,
wasn't in the
right,
holler at
right,
space.
Right. So he comes in, yo, I see you working on X, Y, and Z. Then you would allow the holler?
It depends. They would have worked on it, right?
Yeah, it just depends. Like, okay, so if you come into me with some stuff like you want to work on some things, right? Now, granted, just where I'm at right now, I already got enough projects. So I might have just been on some, hey, you know, like I'm kind of busy right now. I'm working on some other things. However, you know what? That would be cool for us to collaborate on. Like, you know, like when I finally get some free time, like we could work on that. Cool. But don't just try to holler and then switch it up. Like, that's like the homie who's just like, hey, girl, I'm trying to whatever. And you're just like, I got a boyfriend. He like, well, we can't be friends. It's like, bro, you can't switch it up now because the intention was to holler. And now you trying to be a nigga friend. No.
Man, no, they don't well. They
Shit, the homie.
Nobody trying to be
He's
the
probably
friend.
like, shit, I'd rather be a friend than nothing.
No, they
Nah.
like shit. I'm gonna say we could be friends, so then maybe she'll
You know,
Everybody
trying to
switch
test
up
the
with
water.
what
One day
up.
I'm gonna be like,
Trying to
your
test the
man
waters.
don't deserve you. Let me take you out. Like,
Y'all funny.
we not falling for that.
I would
feel like
never
the
say
only
that
way-
shit. Your man don't deserve you.
Right.
Hey
Never?
man, leave that motherfucker. And then
You would never say your man don't deserve you.
I would never say that to somebody.
What would you say
He'd be like Drake.
if you felt like somebody's man didn't deserve them?
That ain't none of my fucking business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they can figure that shit out on their own.
Bro.
When hey, if you want to holler at me or do something, let me know.
I mean,
But
that's probably what he like. He should, if he had come in and been like in her DMs, like, you know, I do think you're beautiful and blah blah blah. If you're ever interested, especially if he's responding
whenever
multiple
you're
times,
available
like,
and
he
you
should
got
have just
some
stopped at
time.
some point, right? If you
Not
ever
just
become
hi.
interested,
Hi. Hello.
Right.
You're beautiful. Hi.
Right.
Hi.
Like,
Hi.
if you ever
Hi.
become
Hi.
interested, I like what you do. Blah blah.
You get a lot
blah.
of those, huh?
See, that's why fucking the internet has it. You can't meet people on the internet.
I am never sliding through DMs anymore talking
Hi,
with y'all, bro.
how you doing? Like,
That-
how are you supposed to even introduce you? Hi, I'm so and so. I would like to get to meet you. How much money you got? That's gonna be the next question.
Yo, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I don't
Hey,
get
they're gonna
into
hit
this.
you
I
back.
don't know what
Get into
women
this
you've
discussion.
been, who've been hitting
He
you
listening
up,
to
but-
the city girls and thinking
Right.
everybody's
Right. We all don't operate like
Hey,
that.
they're gonna be like, read the
And
bio.
then
What-
why
what-
would I
gonna be
ask
Cash
across
App.
the first text message? Like, if I'm just curious, I'm gonna get to know you, and then I can tell how much money you have over a certain period of time. Nobody's like,
See,
how
I feel
much
like
money you
how
got.
can you even be curious through? I mean, all you're looking at is pictures. Yeah, these are pictures of
That's
a
what I'm
person,
saying.
and
Who's
you're looking
gonna
at
be
text
curious?
messages. What in those pictures and text messages are like you've never met this person?
You asking the wrong people because
Look.
don't nobody be like, how much money you got over DM.
Hey, people be
Sure.
trying it, all right? People be
Enough.
Not
trying
by,
it on
at
the
least I
internet.
don't know anyone in this room, but I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine being like,
What is this?
You played yourself.
how much money you got.
I didn't know what that was. I was like, what the fuck is this?
It
Sound
fit in
sick?
too. Fit in
You
good.
played yourself.
It's Kevin Samuels.
Like, well,
I love that man.
Man, this was a good little convo.
Yeah, this
I
was
enjoyed
really
this
good.
one.
Yeah, so y'all stop being childish. Communicate.
Yes.
Put your grown woman and man pants on, all right? Wait, what is it? What?
who is this?
But
you
yeah,
think it is?
y'all.
I don't know. Do you know?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
You could tell from the lips and the mustache.
Oh, who is the dude? No, I don't.
Oh,
I was like this. Yeah, I
people
know.
blurring out.
Why are they still blurring out?
She
boy?
trying to wrap it up, bro.
Oh, we
Sorry.
trying to
Y'all
wrap it up.
distracted.
I am
the hell?
distracted.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Wrap that shit up.
All right.
You want to just go around, everybody get their last little 2 cents on
Ghosting is bad. You shouldn't do it. But don't be a creep. When you don't get the message after maybe the second one, leave it alone.
2 in a row hurts.
2 does hurt.
That's like an ego breaker.
Not back to back. I'm talking about like you send one day and then
like a week later. Yeah, you gotta let some time brew.
Nah,
find some other DMs to slide in before you send that second one.
Or maybe meet this person in person. Figure out don't even figure nothing out because now you're on stalker status if you bump into this person randomly.
Right.
Like now it just doesn't feel organic.
Yeah, you see her in the store and you're like, fuck, I sent 2 in a row and she didn't respond.
What am I supposed to do?
I'm hiding behind the apples.
Bro. Damn.
Yeah, no, man. Ghosting has its time and place. Like Randii was saying, if you're a very toxic person and messed up person, yeah, ghost their ass. Take them out. But if you make plans with somebody or
don't stand people.
That's fucked up.
Right.
Don't ghost.
Right.
Tell them you can't do it or don't make the plans in the beginning.
I don't just sit at home all day waiting for y'all to move.
Right.
You know what I mean? So be courteous. I try to be as courteous as I possibly can. So, do that. I just want the same respect.
Right.
Anything else?
Don't stand people up. But I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with not texting people back. You're not interested
Shatii
no
will
more.
not text you
It's
back.
just a matter of being honest. If you're not a texter, just establish that right away. Like, look, honestly, fam, I don't really be texting like that. So if I don't text you back, don't take it personal. Boom.
Yeah.
It's so you don't have to communicate all the time, but communicate enough to set the boundaries and standards that you have so that people can understand why you do what you do. All right.
I feel like, but if I stop texting you back, it's an understanding. I'm no longer interested.
For you,
and just
but it might not be for that other person.
If I don't text them back and they don't understand I'm no longer interested, that's kind of weird.
Do you tell people, hey, I'm not interested anymore?
No, I said if I don't text them back multiple times.
But are you clear about I'm not interested? Because sometimes
this is the I'm not interested. I don't respond to you anymore.
But
that's
sometimes
Vari can't talk about ghosting. This nigga has ghosted friends the same way.
Dang.
And the indicator is supposed to be I don't respond.
I ghost friends?
Well, old friends.
This is to be continued. We're gonna
look.
get this on the next episode.
He been on here lying to y'all.
You know what it is. All right.
Cut the
go ahead
cut
and
the camera.
I want to thank Randii for providing us with these great segments that will hopefully continue happening in the future.
You know what it is.
So sprinkle that on there real quick. I want to thank my guy.
Let's talk smack.
I like that.
And then I don't have.
Wow.
That's okay.
That'll be yours. A little weird laugh.
You know what it is.
Imagine.
You know what it